Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on your time zone. Welcome back to my channel. How are we all doing? So this morning, I would like to go straight to the program because we are not going to waste much time based on the fact that this is the morning, update. I want to go straight to the program. So, Verydarkman went to Ghana based on the situation, what is going on in Ghana, because many of you can see, you can confirm that you have seen a lot of clip flying everywhere on social media. Some says that Igbos are being pushed away from Ghana. Some say that because of Igbo men, that Igbo man that claimed that he's a king or that he's one of the Igbo king, and what do you call this in Igbo? Some Igbo people are fond of that, not because they want to take your land. People are mistaking that we are the people that love to be noticed where we are and noticed in a positive way, not in a negative way. But some lazy people see it as a problem. I'm not a fan of having Igwe Ezendi Igbo na Japan, Ezendi Igbo na Germany, Ezendi Igbo na France, or Ezendi Igbo in UK, Ezendi Igbo in Oyo State. I'm not a fan of that. I don't like it. People that have issue with it don't even know Igbo culture. They don't even know how Igbos behave. Some of them believe that when we say that Igbos are Republican in nature, they think that you are just trying to make yourself look so good. They don't believe that, because if they do, they should understand that even in Igbo land, we don't have one very big king that everybody is answerable to, that everybody must go and bow and worship. No. We are called respect to whom respect is due. Even if I get king, there's a limit. We believe that we are, king of our own. We believe that, not that we don't respect them, because those people that are from monarch, that grew up in monarch system of government, you know what I mean by that? Like those who want to have this royal family, something like that, where people are just bowing to each other. You have one mighty king, one monarchy system that everybody must be, a subject to. We don't have that. So people who understand what Igbo people do, even if they say Igbo king in Ghana, Igbo people in Ghana don't even pay attention. Nobody want to be under anybody, which is good and bad. Good in some way, bad in some way as well, because we cannot, pretend that we are like Yoruba people. We are not. So Ghanaians having issue with that man, they need to think twice, because I don't think the man is there to take their land or grab land or take away their kingship. And I don't think so. We are not known for that kind of thing. Those who are using that to do wrong propaganda are those that can run propaganda as long as Igbo issue is being mentioned, because of personal hatred. Like I told you, I am not a fan of having a king in any place. I'm not a fan of that. So please make sure you like the video and share it, okay, to many platforms of your choice. Now, Verydarkman saw what is going on. He heard the news and tried to fly to Ghana. But before we go to that video, pay attention here how these ones are protesting. According to the write-up here, this is Nigerian gone. Nigeria is gone. Said, my fellow Igbo brothers, sisters, my fellow Igbo brothers, sisters, I think what you should say, Igbo brothers and sisters, but he said, my fellow Igbo brothers, sisters, and every Nigerian living in Ghana, this is the time to face the truth. Ghanaian citizens are on the streets openly protesting and demanding that all Nigerians and other African nations should leave their country, whether they like it or not, or whether their government is supportive of that, because the statement is not complete. But the video here will interest you. There's nothing they didn't say about for you to see their presence, on the street. Watch. This is street in Ghana, and let us see. Okay, let me take it back. So let us see if you can picture a few things from the placards. No, just a moment. Okay, this one says, "Our peace is not for sale." Okay, our peace is not for sale. This one said what? Ghanaians now. Okay, the other one is there's not we cannot observe it. We were unable to picture any other thing from those that hold the placards, and it's a very very short clip. So I'm going to go straight to the program. All right, Steve, this is Nigerian stories. This one is Nigeria is gone. So Nigerian stories have this news from Verydarkman. As you can see, Verydarkman goes to Ghana to interview Nigerian traders to ask what the problem is and why their shops are being closed by Ghanaians. Now, we know what we normally hear is different from what you're going to hear here. We heard that Ghanaians are not happy for the fact that an Igbo man want to build empire called the Igbo community or something like that. And another Ghanaians also, some Ghanaians have made some kind of short videos. Some is not even all that short, maybe 13 minutes thereabouts, trying to explain to their people the danger and the importance of that man in Ghana. You know, according to them, the man owns a lot of businesses and he owns a lot of companies that facilitates other companies to operate in Ghana. Means that the man is very, very vital and very, very crucial to Ghanaian government. That if they push the man away, the man is capable of affecting the Ghana's health system. It's capable of affecting Ghana's food, like agriculture, because the man has a lot of company in Ghana. That man that his picture is everywhere, that man is very, very powerful in terms of what he has offered or what he's doing in Ghana, and he's married to Ghanaians. But that's not a very good excuse. I'm not saying that Ghanaians should just because of that allow him to take their land. But when you hear this taking the land, it sounds like Fulani is grabbing land. No, this is a man that spent his money to buy land. So seeing Ghanaians acting this way makes me to believe what people normally say, that Ghanaians have a lot of relations or relatives or blood link to Yoruba people. Because this is similar behavior. I'm not attacking Yoruba people, I'm just being real. Not every Yoruba though. I'm talking about Afonjas. Like we have in our place a Fulef. So you cannot judge Igbo because of what the Fulef is doing. So I'm not going to judge Yoruba because of what Afonjas are doing. So are we good on that? Fine. So when you hear me saying Yorubas, please understand that I'm referring to Afonjas. They want this because every society have their own wahala. So one of the wahala of Yorubas is Afonja. They are the number one. So our own is a Fulef. But having said that, what the story you are going to hear now is a different thing that from what we normally hear. So I was thinking that all this problem is about the man who said he's want to that Igbo guy, Igbo king or whatever. Even Ghana government don't care about what we are saying about the man, but somehow they kind of soft and somehow indirectly supporting their people to protest against Nigerians because they one thing I notice is that Ghanaians are looking for a way to have this label. They think to reiterate or have something to say because Nigeria, there's a history of Ghana must go back and all that. So they're looking for a way to create their own against Nigerians. So just to have something to hold against Nigerians. I don't blame them because Nigerians have decided Nigerian government have made themselves what they are today. That is why people believe no matter what you do, the country cannot be fixed anymore. But we are not here for that. I just want you to pay attention to hear what happened here, what the Verydarkman said, and the question he threw to this Igbo guy and other people around. The answer will shock you.
All right, so I did live in Ghana, and this particular place is called Abasukai. You see this place, Nigerians Day. As you all know, they say they lock Nigerian shops for Ghana. So me, I say no, they can come know what they happen. Whether na media propaganda or na real situation. So make me ask, what be the problem? There are different stories. They say Nigerians like they do fraud. They say that Nigerians they are shallow, and for all these reasons, that they want me Nigerians to So me, they ask the guy, say, what's be the real problem? You understand? Yeah. So brother, what's be the problem?
All right. Okay, now here from so guys, here so guys, who they say scare pass. Understand? So
that's where you come from?
Yeah, from Anambra.
Anambra State. How long you done it for Ghana?
I've been in Ghana like more than 25 years.
More than 25 years.
Yes, my wife could be Ghanaian.
Your wife is Ghanaian.
Yeah.
You pay your tax every day.
I have 5 children.
5 children? Correct. So tell me, what's the main problem?
Okay, now, here now, some of Ghanaians, they want to be Nigerians, so as we bring to supply to them, so that they will sell and give us whatever.
Wait, they want you people to import. When we import, then you not give it to them. Then will not be the ones to sell and give you back the money. That's what they want. So they don't want you people to be in the in the retail line. They just want you to be like the wholesale. Okay. Have you tried this thing before? I don't know.
That's what we are trying to do. That's what we are trying to do. But a lot of them see their money. I'm not having picture. So
if they
bros, you have to go back. They will have to go back to go and gather money. Sometimes that will get the goods, credit from them. They have to take it to us. They will go back and again.
So when I don't do this retailing thing before, but if they collect and they don't agree with funds,
so now it's our capital.
But the another story say, Nigerians for here say that deliberately they set things cheap to get them out of the market. How true is that? Something like that.
How can you set this? Because there's no way if you take this from airport to trade like as a customer you take us from. If you take from the city, you take us from. The passport you got you take us from. So anytime you bring this, you need to get the money. You can't say but only that is that we don't. It's not that much profit to me. You have to sell it where you get your money back and go for another so that I sell it.
So there's nothing like saying that they said cheap.
Nothing like this. So it will be
So why they go lock on a shop before? Because I see videos when they lock shops. Why they lock shops that time?
that is from the little market to move from the little space. So from there,
And why they come best?
what does the that has said that they use the law of their local TIPC law that says that you should get $2 million for us to be in the little trade. So how can you get $2 million if you have $2 million? How can you get it?
You not be here now. You go there Nigeria. So, what are the main politicians saying? Are they part of all of this, or they don't even be bothered?
Like now, government is telling them that they should calm down and let the just what they are doing is not them.
So their own government.
The government
I say right there. Bro, I'm doing something here. Calm down. Let them hear. We acknowledge the right of 100, but please let's just say so.
Ghanaians and Nigerians, because there are a lot of Ghanaians and Nigerians, and we too are in Ghana, so there will not be any fight between here. So there is something, and let's just.
So as you can see, people don't start to be gathered. So I don't want to be so proud. So I would love to shoot to one question. How about the people where they protest Nigeria must go? I think as I come Ghana, I'll see them everywhere.
No. That one is a different. I think that one is a different.
Oh, that one is politics. Why? Why that Nigeria must go?
We in the market here is not. That is not happening yet.
Okay. So now different package. Nigeria must go different from closing of shop. Okay.
You see,
Now,
they're not the same.
this issue of Igbo King, Igbo King,
That one, there is that one
not concerned. Now, all that to do with business.
and we people don't have anything here.
Did you hear that? The guy said that we Igbo don't have any king here. Sorry about the noise, the voice. I don't know if you were able to hear what they said. The guy said we don't have any Igbo king here. I told you, when at the beginning that Anybody that knows Igbo people very well, we are not that kind of race, that kind of nation that, this king of, when a man wake up and say that he's, king, I am Igbo king in so place, what they're trying to tell you is that the person has been there for years, that he is the only first Igbo person in that part of in that location. Like, for example, if you go to let's say you go to let me use something like Nairobi in Kenya, and you see somebody who they're called Igwe is in Nairobi. So that person simply means that the person have been there for a long time. He knows every corner of Nairobi. That if you have any issue, he is the best person for you to approach, and he will direct on how to solve your problem as an Igbo person, or even as a Nigerian that is there. They will see you as they will see the person as the first person. So it's not that does not mean that person will turn automatically as a traditional ruler of that area, start putting his finger in people's eyes, trying to know about what government said. No, that is not what it is. So when you hear Igbo king, probably the man have gained respect, grand in Kenya, in Ghana, and he can go to police and bail people if you have any issue. If you have document issue, he can help you out. He can stand as a surety that the immigration and the police know him. The government of the country know him. Once he appears, things will change. You know, that kind of thing. They will start seeing the person as a king. All right. So maybe because of the wealth of the man, he want to build empire that, anybody can live. It's not as if he's going to build something for Igbo people alone. But people who grew up in monarchy system of governance are the one twisting it, using their own lifestyle, thinking that that's how Igbo people do. Ask yourself, mention Igwe is like a king, Igbo king in Nigeria. All of us are in Nigeria, right? As a Yoruba man, as a Hausa man, as a anybody, any tribe, mention, or even TV mention one powerful king that Enugu, Ebonyi, Abia, Imo, Shiva, once his name is being mentioned. The man have power that he can come and take ancestral land without questioning. You don't see that kind of thing. Unlike in Yoruba land, you hear people who have been demolished because of one Oba. You don't do that. If you do it, that Oba, your palace may go down. No? You understand? Igbos don't. We are not like that. So anything Igwe, the reason is just for you to just a kind of recognizing. Or let's see if there's any other thing that they are doing in Ghana that I don't know. But for the fact that this Igbo man, this guy you are saying, he said he's from Nnewi, Anambra State, opened his mouth and said that Igwe, that Igwe is an Igbo. He's not, because his shop, he's paid for his shop, he takes care of his family, he runs his business with his own money. He's not answerable to any king. He's there in Ghana because that is personal effort. He did not go there because of community contribution or a king send arrange document for him to come. No. So why would you fly from Nigeria to Ghana and start taking buy one down for another Igbo person that came just like you? Igbos will consider all those things I'm telling you now, and I tell you, but okay, mind your business. In this part of Ghana, they don't even care about what the king is saying. Their own is a different story. The problem they are having here, according to the story, is that because this is spare parts line, where they're selling car spare parts, that Ghanaians that are running the same business told them to leave retail business alone for them. Go and import that your business, supply it to us. We will sell and return. Meaning that they don't even want to start with the capital. Because this is typical African. They don't even want to start with their own capital. They said, go and use your money, import goods, bring it to us here, supply it to us, so we'll be the one selling it in the retail price. You guys are importers, so just import and sell it, supply it to us as in a wholesale price. We'll be the one to determine the price and sell it in the retail price. He said they did it, but once you supply the goods to them, they're not going to return the money. Just imagine as an importer, you import, let's say, 8 million worth of goods, and 8 million, I don't know, and I'm using Naira. Then you supply it to people, they will just collect it. At the end of the day, you will be able to recover 3.5. or 4 million, then the remaining 4 million is bye-bye. So there's still, because they are foreigners, you cannot shout. And for Ghanaians to have this kind of mindset, demanding this kind of thing, simply means they want to, start using that to scam those business people. Because what is assurance? You are forcing me to give you my goods on credit. Do you understand that? So since they're not, they did it for the first time, and trust Igbo people now. They say, okay, since you guys cannot keep the business, the terms and conditions, we are going to open our own shop and start the business. As we're importing, we are selling it on retail price. They started complaining that they're selling it too cheap. They're selling it too cheap to kick them out of the line. This is not, and the guy said it's not possible. That is not what it is. They are looking for any way to make sure that they stop them, maybe to limit the number of Igbo business people there, so that they can now have, few Igbo people to deal with, and by so doing, they may dominate and all that. So, which is not okay. And an average Ghanaian should understand the tactics and the tricks behind this. At the end of the day, people that are going to suffer it are consumers. I mean, average Ghanaians that are clapping for them now. Okay, Ghana now. Which again, I can marry them. Now listen.
This whole issue of saying that they lock shop, why did they go out?
What I understand is some kind of enviness and not understanding. People out there, normal, we're all one. We're selling our market, we're selling our normally they come by supply. We get to a state club and we're not getting our money to go and that's activity shop.
You are a man of truth.
You have to put it in shop. You have to put it in shop. So that if they can buy, everyone they buy will afterwards, they start
so all those talk of saying Nigerian girls they go a shower, they do stuff, don't be anything. But who don't carry a shower?
There's another that man in the grace.
Now you get much of our only Nigerians do a shower. So everybody did one. Don't be saying you walk on me and go push blame or push blame. At the end of the day, one thing when me and the like preach, I say, bro, if you say Ghana man pass it, if you don't put him out, but people don't know, you go say like your Nigerian brother. So why you want to push your brother left, right, and center? We are supposed to come together as one African.
That is it. As one Africa. True.
So that we fit do trade. There are some things that we can join us together. We do sell it abroad, make more money as Africa. But not this way. Even I watch the video, I don't laugh. Say Nigerians, I laugh. You know why I laugh? The main people who defraud all of us for Africa, they are abroad. They don't carry our gold.
No, you go now. It's true.
Slavery, that's fraud with us. We defraud our forefathers, pack all our things go there. If not, we say God in His infinite mercy, nothing for the Africa by now. We put those people don't pack.
That's true.
So this one, I got here. Waiting be Kwasi and Ghana. Anyways, so a lot of Igbos there here, and they say they don't recognize anything. So me now, I won't go meet her. I won't answer one or two. Because himself, he gets his own thing where he won't talk. Make him not be waiting to talk, now they put out there. If he be saying just talk one spot, another person carry and go. So we need to also know
which is true.
The issue of that king, the politicians some group don't agree with some agree. So that is how they start. We have to fighting each other. So, but that one look for time now. Look for time.
All right. I'm happy. You know, Verydarkman is a necessity, to be honest with you. Very, very important. And you can't get another Verydarkman. Many people don't like him. Many do. I like him, to be honest with you. I'm not saying other thing, but the way he's not a kind of person that sees truth and start covering it. He will say it the way it is, and no matter what, and face it squarely. So it's very, very good. And the only thing people need to understand is that Igbo people are not this kind of people that you say, oh, I have to show them that I'm a king, I'm this and that. What you heard from these people now, what you are hearing from them is in the mind of you guys. Nigerians used to insult Igbo people that they don't have king, they don't respect elders. So is it when they're in abroad, everybody will start bowing down to one person? Think about it. And we are going to move to something else. All right. And that thing, this is going to be the end. No, I just want to, I'm not supposed to play this or talk about this, but I have to. The demolition going on in Lagos State now is not touching everybody. It's touching everybody because, you remember, Afonja has on social media celebrating when one Igbo man house is being put down. They will start jumping up and down, dancing, jubilating. Now the demolition is not touching everybody, including their people. And they are crying about it. That is one thing you need to understand. When you support a corrupt politicians, thinking because of your tribal bigots, you want to support one politician, thinking that is the best thing to do, you are literally hurting yourself. The only thing the message I want to pass before I play the video is that if you're an able person that are going to watch the video, be very, very careful where you're, buying property in Lagos. You see those houses that demolished now, they will still later market for sale, and Igbos will pay more money again. In years to come, they will demolish it again. It's a business strategy to fund what I don't know. Now, read this from Sahara Reporter. Watch. We submitted documents, but they demolished our houses. Anyway, Oworo Shoki resident accuses Lagos government monarch of land grabbing. Now, hear this before we go there, because I'm going to play some. Just hear the woman, may not play to the end. No, start from the beginning.
I said, okay, what do you expect us to do now? He said we should bring all our jobs, we should come and submit our.
The way she's talking, I don't think she's an Igbo woman. She's an Igbo woman. I don't think.
We went back. We did it. We left all our documents there. We submitted.
She sounds like a Yoruba woman.
And those people that have a CFO submitted theirs too. Okay, he said we should go. So someone now advised us that we should go to head of Labska, Abdul Ghani Oki or something. So we now went there. We went to his office. He said he's not here. So he now checked the number on the abatement paper. He called. He said,
I thought this is a Yoruba woman.
He said, I don't know. He said, Baba Mawari Nisa. When he it was on speaker. We were hearing everything. Taloro said Kabiyesi. Yes. When we went, Okina called the number on their basement notice. When he called, he now called, yeah. Were you the one that went to place papers on people's properties at Ojileru? He said yes. So who sent you? He said, Baba, I will come and see you, sir. So Mr. Okina said, are you crazy? I said, who sent you? He now said it was Kabiyesi that sent him. The king. Who is the Sheye? The Sheye was the one that led them to place the abatement bill. It was the one that led them. So, Mr. Okina advised us that we should go and liaise with the Oba, the Kabiyesi, the king, so that we should ask him what he really wants from us. Maybe he wants us to rebuy the properties from him. Okay, we now went. It took us 3 days before we could see him on getting there. So we now talked to him, we begged him. He said he didn't need our money. All he needs from us is to go and make our house standard. That he needs standard houses in this area because we are a central Lagos state. Because the Tomeland Bridge is very close to this place. So he wants beautiful houses. He doesn't want face me and face you. Okay, we said, okay, we agreed. Then I almost finished my house. Because of that, I went to Ikorodu to sell my only property there. 10 million naira, which I used to do this. Even I've sent the video to you. I've finished everything, POP, tiles everywhere, just to finish the frontage of my house. So it was on that Friday, on the 6th, Saturday night.
Friday night.
Friday midnight.
Stroke Saturday.
I to work, stroke Saturday to morning, the midnight. So it was someone that called me. I said, why is this guy calling me at this time of the day? So I announced that what is wrong? Said that, mommy, they've started the money shino. I wasn't putting on anything. I was just shouting my son's name. Before I came out, they had already at the fourth house there. We were inside in the midnight. I didn't believe it was. I don't know what to do. I was stranded. It was my son that gingered me that mommy, I take him apart. We couldn't pack anything before we knew it. They just my son wanted to pack the plumbing materials. There, they didn't allow us. They pushed me away. It was only the box of my documents that I was able to take out. But what is baffling me is that as a civil servant, even in Loma, if you want to see the company, even in Bariga, as a revenue officer, if you want to see lock-up shops, you will still give them 7 days. From 7 days, 3 days abatement notice. 3 days, 24 hours. Even the 24 hours will still take another 3 days.
But the last GMT, they did all this.
They
give abatement notice.
They did not give us abatement notice. They came last May, and they only asked us not. They did say they
we should vacate our land.
To demolish. They said.
I am not laughing at you, my woman. I'm sorry for for your experience. It's a very bad experience. Why I'm laughing is because I could remember when Igbo people, once they put their house down, that was last year, and they said the same thing. They did not give us notice, so we were sleeping. Some of them we are eating. And the Nigerian government, the Lagos State government will say, no, we gave them. Now you guys are complaining as well. But your own cannot be like the Igbo, because at the end of the day, because I have not seen Channels TV, granting this kind of interview before. All right. Normally, it's on social media that they will be in their studio reacting on it. What do you have, Mr. for? Mr. A, what do you have to say about the Nigerians complaining about the demolition going on in Lagos? What that one will say, yeah, because they built have their house in the waterway. That is why government is even saving their lives, and that will be the end. But at the end of the day, like people, these Yoruba people, I am sure that Lagos State government will pay them compensation. But you as an Igbo man, you're on your own. Did you hear the reason why they demolished this ones? The reason is because that the house there looks like that. Face me and face you. They want a beautiful house because it's very close to Third Mainland Bridge. That is a target for Igbo people. They will place this house now, this land man, 30 let's say 30 million, maybe 150 million to buy and build world-class houses there. Igbos will quickly go down and grab the land. As they grab it, after a few years, the house looks so tattered. Let us pull it down. It may be probably that day, maybe the day your daughter is having doing his or her wedding. Your children may be getting married. As you are doing the function, marriage function and everything, bulldozer will be in front of the house to pull it down. This comment is what I want to read before we end. Some APC idiots were telling me, that's according from Obina, were telling me they will deal with Igbos people with demolitions, and I am laughing. The demolitions in Lagos are not specifically targeted at Igbo people. It is a land grabbing scheme by the chief Omole at Asorok, that is Turubu, and his cronies and his cronies. And it will affect everyone as long as you are not part of the inner caucus. So this Turubu and his group have been grabbing land. I think there's another president. I think that was before he was elected. People have accused him of the same thing, and now he's doing it again. But I disagree with Obina here, but I'm coming to that. He said it will affect everyone as long as you are not part of the inner caucus. It does not matter where you are from. Just pray they don't get attracted to your property. The thing is that Obina, I don't think you understand what is going on. And honestly, I don't think he's targeted at Igbo people. But you not understand it. Like the one the demolition now, by the time they place, huge amount of money to sell that land, Obina, who do you think will like if that land, let's assume that property is to be purchased by, let's say, 50 people, okay? That 50 people, whether you like it or not, 40 will be Igbo. 40 will be Igbo, or 35. So what again do you want? And after some years, they will tell you that that place looks so the government want to build, one park or one powerful hotel there because it's very close to city. Without any argument. So people that can demolish people's houses, is it the land that you want to tell them that land will not be, they will not resell it, they will resell it because they will think the government have taken the land and pay compensation. Let's assume they paid everybody there now, let's assume 20 million, or maybe even 30 million, which is not possible. Never. They will end up selling that land 180. So they have generated money, not generating money to put in government day-to-day activities, but to siphon it and put in their personal purse because it is their turn. You know what I mean by that. Anyway, my people, I'm going to end it here. Please tell me what you think about what the video is all about, and I would like to hear from you. God bless you. Good morning. Take care. Bye-bye for now.